What a wild start to OCN Playday 6, wildcard 7-4 victory over Knights on Clubhouse. We move forward though, of course, and try and re-establish order a little bit here. Of course, we need to see Order versus Rhythm coming up for the second game of the night, guys, and Order should be able to get the job done. Come on, really?
Nah, rhythm.
No?
Rhythm.
You feel the rhythm?
Yep, I'm feeling the rhythm. The
what?
The rhythm. The rhythm.
Mate,
Can't even pronounce my THs.
You're not on tonight at all. Let's get into this game. Rhythm versus Order. For Rhythm, there's not really, of course, a chance that they can make the playoffs. In fact, it's virtually impossible, but it's all about a bit of pride, guys.
I think that's what makes a team dangerous sometimes, is when you don't really have much to lose. Now, of course, Rhythm are fighting off bottom place. They're trying to finish at least second last to make their position for potential relegations down the line a little bit safer. But, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, again, they're not really fighting for quote-unquote much at the moment. They're not fighting for the playoffs. And sometimes in Siege, if you don't have that pressure on your shoulders and you just go out there and have a bit of fun, you can produce results. And that's what I'm kind of banking on here for Rhythm.
Of course, for Rhythm, they're a team that I think did a lot better in Stage 1 than they have in Stage 2, which is a bit unfortunate. They're, of course, the only team yet to find a win. That's either regulation or in overtime, guys, for Stage 2. It's been a difficult one.
Oh, musical Sanchez. Freeze.
Oh, no. Well, maybe they're just, like, actually... Is it just them doing it?
They're just meditating.
I'm just waiting for them to, like, all move and then be like, ah, got you. Let's move on, though, of course, to their opponents, Order, who is always labeled as the inconsistent team, guys. But maybe they're starting to gain a bit of consistency here. Some decent results in APAC South. And obviously a good win here, and suddenly they will rocket up the standings into third for OCN.
Yeah, well, we had a cheeky chat to Specker on a reload earlier in the week, and he seemed, you know, fairly confident is the nice way of putting it, that they'd win this. I mean, let's be honest, he was pretty much 100%. We're locking this in. This is a win. There's no way we're losing this matchup. So the confidence definitely flowing from him and the rest of the team heading into this matchup, and there's no reason not to. They're a great roster. Now, sure, there has been some consistency issues. However, here in OCN, they're not tracking too badly at the moment. They're in 4th place. However, unlike Rhythm, they do have the pressure on their shoulders a little bit that they still need to be getting points on the board, as their playoff position is not yet confirmed.
No, it's not, but a win here will confirm it, as only, if they win this, only one of Ruffle or Wildcard would be able to be into the top 5. So that's basically what's at stake here, that a win here for Order, they'll go to 11 points. They'll be locked into the playoffs. You would expect them to be able to get the job done. Jack Dad's having a bit of a bite. Specker's just gone to the toilet. He's just come back. Is that a beanie?
Yeah.
Where's the luscious locks?
Don't know. I mean, Nate's winning that contest. Have a look at those. My God. Wow, Nate.
They are flowing, baby. I think if he had like an air conditioner on, you know, it'd be like those Hollywood films where it'd just be flowing around. Yeah. But this is a team that, guys, you know, obviously would love more than anything to get rid of that inconsistency tag. And I think they're ready to do that. A win here against Rhythm and then knock off the Knights in Playday 7, and suddenly they would be on like 14 points, and that could is the key word, be enough maybe for second, which puts them in a very good position come playoff time.
Yeah, that would be a fantastic position for these boys to find themselves in. And I mean, the core 3 of that roster that's been around for quite some time now, the top 3 players on screen that we just saw there, being Specker, Jack, and Bailey, have always been sort of that bridesmaid in this region back when they were formerly known as, you know, Akami, Darksided, as far back as you want to go. They were never able to quite eclipse the other teams in this region. So sure, they can't, at least in this regular season, finish first, but they can get pretty close for the playoffs.
I'm back.
Good.
Sorry, we're professional here at OCN. I dropped my pen.
Ah, okay. Is your pen okay?
It's okay.
Okay, that's good.
Sorry, continue.
No, my point's finished.
Oh, you finished? All right, awesome. Let's go to the map vetoes then. That was a good way to segue away from what Guz was about to ramble on about. It's Oregon. Awesome. The Clubhouse and Oregon train continues, Guz. And we've got the best team in Oceania as well on Oregon.
Yeah, no, they're not. That's just what Specker said on a whim, like, what, 12 months ago. So we need to stop beating dead jokes like that, Xenox. I mean, come up with something new. Surely you've got...
You know what? You're right. We should stop beating about dead jokes as well. So that means I like Villa.
You don't know the map, though, so how can you like it? Look, in terms of this map, I haven't even got the stats next to me, so don't even throw me under that bus. But again, like I've said earlier, the maps are going through this weird phase at the moment. They tend to go through trends through every single season. For whatever reason, at the moment, teams leaning quite heavily into Clubhouse, into Oregon. Obviously, in this veto in particular, Rhythm just not at all comfortable on sending Order to Clubhouse, and probably a wise decision. Extremely structured, even more structured than Oregon, of course, will play out to be. Now, the interesting thing to think about heading into this match is going to be that Flores and Thatcher ban. Do we see either ban? Do we see them both banned? Because we have been witnessing in the last couple of weeks that has been changing things up quite a bit.
Yeah, just I know you're just filling there and you're just saying words just the same, but I've got the stat, Guz.
Go ahead.
I've got the one that you want.
Okay.
The one that maybe you will like to hear as someone who tipped Rhythm.
Oh,
the
yeah.
last time these two teams played in OCN was on Oregon. And guess who won?
Rhythm.
It was Rhythm. 8-6. They won it out in
Told ya.
OT. They've got the history.
Let's go.
Rhythm they do. It's an interesting one too as well, because in that particular game, in the first half, Order had a 4-2 attacking half, Guz. And they would have been thinking, or whoever was casting it at the time would have been thinking, boy, this is going pretty great for Order. And then Rhythm brought it back on their attack and went 4-2 as well. So it was a very attacking Oregon.
Okay, well, I have a feeling that we casted that matchup. I don't know. It's ringing a bell
Probably
for whatever
unlikely
reason,
because
but-
it was in the... no, we did not. Yeah, no, it's very likely. Yeah, we did do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So look, Rhythm win, lock it in right now. I mean, I'm going to
Yeah, okay.
extend my lead in the predictions.
I'll write it
Simple
down.
As that. Thank you very much. I mean, maybe I saw the script before tonight's broadcast, so got a little bit of an edge in that department. But yeah, look, it's difficult to make that an assumption that this match is going to be close based on what a single isolated historical event. However, it does produce a nice little storyline for us. Rhythm trying to back up that performance, and unfortunately, maybe Rhythm, I mean Order rather, struggling against Rhythm on this particular map. But again, a lot has changed between now and then as well. So many roster changes. I mean, these rosters are basically completely different. So
I got a question for you here. It's not a very difficult one.
Sure.
Obviously, there's more for Order though, right, in terms of pressure. Because if they lose this, that inconsistency tag is literally stamped on their forehead once again. If they win this, they probably don't get the plaudits either, right? So it's all pressure on them.
yeah, yeah. If they lose this, it's a devastating hit to their stage. If they win, it's just an expected result. So this is really, I guess, just a boring, mundane Monday morning for them, if you would, in the world of competitive Siege, where they just need to rock up and get the job done. That was the attitude that Specker talked to us about the other night, that it's really important that they just focus on the matchup, don't put too much emphasis on it, just get the job done. It should be an easy game. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. Get those points banked and then look forward to the final Playday.
And even an OT win for Order would put them on 10 points, and seemingly that should be enough to get them into the playoffs. Might not be, of course. That's where you get into the connected dot theory, but I think 11 points might be enough as well. So, yeah, it's a big game. They should be winning it. What's interesting is I look at Order, and they've got a -3 round differential. They're the only team in the top 6, Guz, that is actually at a negative round differential. That's including, of course, Rafflecopter in 6th place on +3. So they need to maybe want to rectify that. Doesn't really make a difference, but why not? What better chance to do it than against Rhythm, the team that is dead last, -19 round differential, no win, either regulation or OT or losses. As we head to Oregon, the last time these two teams met, it was Rhythm coming out with the win.
I feel like it's very rare that we don't see a team win a single match in regulation. It was LFO in Stage 1 that got a single dub on the board. I believe that was against Elevate, now Chiefs. So there seems to be this weird presence, this weird aura that always means that a team will get and pocket at least one win. So who knows whether or not that curse will bite here against Order. Jack Daddy's still eating, dude. Can we pause, guys? Can we please pause the lobby and let Jack finish his dinner? That's just rude.
Please don't. I'm sure we get enough rehosts, me and you. We don't need any more. Speck with a big giant smile on his face as well. Looks like he's rocking out to some tunes. Gotta love the player cams, guys. Gotta love the stats as well. OCN, we get treated beautifully here.
And
Mira going to be
replays.
taken off the bench.
And they have replays too here in OCN. Did you know
They
that?
do have replays, yeah. Interestingly enough, though, the Flores didn't get banned out. We know of his significance on Oregon, as Kaid will be the final ban.
Did you see Nate's reaction to that Kaid ban?
No, I did not. Do you want to...
He just did like this massive thumbs down and a sad face. I don't know if that was directly in relation to the ban, but either way, I mean, if Kaid's banned off the board, wouldn't you be happy if you're attacking first?
I don't know. Is that a question? Are you asking a question, guys?
It was yeah.
I feel like Vinny at the moment. You're throwing me under the bus.
Jeez.
Rhythm on the defense, Order on the attack. Like I said last time, it was the attacking teams that prevailed. Guys, 8 rounds to the attacking teams on Oregon between these two in regulation time. So if Order do get out to like a 4-2 half, usually you'd be like, oh wow, this is great. Everything is going amazing. But there's a bit of history there. The 6-pick Valkyrie for Novax. We see the Flores, of course, as I said, didn't get banned out. It is an operator that has a significant impact generally on this map.
Look, I really want to follow up from that point, but I'm going to be completely honest. I did not listen to any of it at all. I was actually looking on my Twitter feed and I saw the Order. They posted a GIF of Specker bopping out, so that was more interesting than whatever your point was. So sorry about that. But community vote 87% in favor of Order. That's expected heading into this one. Rumor has it the only vote there was actually me to Rhythm on the poll. So maybe there are a few other people out there backing me as well. But look, fair to say that that poll is probably representative of Order's chance to take this win.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
As I said before, all pressure on Order. House money for Rhythm. They can just really do as they please. Although, obviously for Rhythm, you're more thinking long-term, right? As a team, you need to be finding little wins. If you want to keep your position in OCN at the end of Stage 3, when eventually, you know, the promotions and relegations and all that take place, they need to find some form. They need to start building their way forward as a team. And unfortunately, Stage 2 has really gone as bad as it really can go. Novax, though, with the opening pick onto Nate. And that's the Flores taken off the board as well, nice and early on. Specker, though, answers back, and that's Supremacist dealt with, 4 versus 4.
Yeah, and continuing on from that point, Rhythm do need to continue to improve. There are some pretty decent teams rising through the ranks of the Oceanic Challenger League. I mean, in Stage 2, you've had Exto going quite strong, as well as Fury, who have a couple of notable names as well. So Rhythm trying to find themselves in the best position to either completely avoid having to compete in Premier Relegations or putting in a strong performance, if that is the case. Now, Specker narrowly avoids that kill, or narrowly misses, rather, that pick in towards Kitchen. That means things will stagnate in a 4v4. Leb tries to reposition to maybe apply some more pressure over towards its meeting part of the map, connecting into lobby. Elsewhere, however, Nico on the Montang. That's pretty spicy. He's applying pressure down below in towards Pillar, and that's likely where Order will try to mount this attack.
Yeah, trying to overwhelm that Pillar position. Maybe send a player or two through blue as well, and pushing through that way. Of course, Nico on that Monty, as you said. There is Bailey. And for Rhythm, it is going to be pretty much everyone on site now. Vex just going to fall off that position. Somehow, Necker.
What?
I don't even know. I think I was going to say Nico. It's like Nico and Specker combined.
Necker. Rightio.
Finds the kill. He's got 2 for the round with that nade kill. Surprised me there for a little bit. Now Order have got themselves an advantage.
Novax under the pump now behind that Vulcan shield. Nico really putting him under the pump. That Montang shield forcing the Valkyrie back, but he tries to reposition, sends out a pre-fire, but of course that shield will protect Nico. Specker, meanwhile, does go deep. The diffuser is in the hands of Jack Duddy, but they're not going to go for the plant. Instead, they're just going to go for kills. It's 3 for Specker in this round.
Oh,
there we go. Make it 4. Leb needs to hold back the ace, but it's Bailey to cut him off at the bottom of the rear stage stairs.
Well, maybe the Nico and Specker combo has got itself a little fantasy name, guys, because it worked out pretty well. Specker playing off Nico's Monty towards the end. They can just push in, and it's basically free money. Order take the opening round. They looked pretty good doing it. They lost Nate very early. They did that without any Rotero drones. No Flores for the entire round. And yeah, Specker got that trade, but he killed the Jaeger, who's already placed those ADSs anyway.
Yeah. It was a really good clear there from Order. No one able to really mount against the pressure there from Rhythm. And again, it was sort of one of those rounds where it was that snowball effect where positions were being fortified really, really quickly. Rhythm unable to have that breather that is required sometimes to halt the momentum against you in a round. Order, they decided to not allow that momentum to stall out. They had a good opportunity there, really, to try and set up for a plant position for the post plant, but instead they just backed themselves to find the kills. Of course, they were in a fantastic position to execute that playstyle. It works out. They get the first round.
And the other thing as well to note here, despite the awesome statistic that I was able to go and find the last time these two teams played and the attacking nature of Oregon, Rhythm has had a very, very poor stage. 7-2 loss to Knights. They had a 7-1 loss to Rafflecopter. That was back in Playday 5 last week. 7-2 loss to Bliss. That was the last time we saw them. So those are 3 out of the 5 matches that they've played this stage, guys. 7-2, 7-2, 7-1. Then their other games was a 7-5 loss to Chiefs, and the only game that they were competitive in was an 8-7 loss to Wildcard. So it's been very, very one-sided. It's why their round differential is basically non-existent. It's in the bin. So don't be surprised if Order do have a really good attacking half, but then also get it done on their defense.
Cool. Ah, Nico loves running the suppressor, often on Buck, but on this occasion it'll be the G36 in the hands of the Yana, looking to take quick control of Dining. Now, there was a play inside of Kitchen for Rhythm, trying to maintain some presence from below. That's Ghoul on the Jaeger, has a rotation in towards security and manages to pluck a drone. Of course, can drop down the hatch if required, but Order will not want that to happen, instead trying to find the kill.
And obviously wanted to try and flush out that player inside of security. Order establishing this vert control from below, trying to clear out Dining and Kitchen, and eventually security as well. Ghoul, of course, can just drop down and then rotate from basement. Minute and a half, so Order do probably have to pick up the pace a little bit here, guys. Rhythm doing all right here. Being difficult to deal with. Specker just going to push him with the Gemini. Left over the top of Freeze's stairs. Oh! Swings, but Bailey's watching. And now it's a 5 versus 3. Supremacist has pulled the plug.
Yeah, he says, stuff this, boys, I'm out. Unfortunate position that Rhythm now find themselves in. Ghoul is going to be forced to make a play here. If he does and he dies, I mean, the round is probably over anyway, so he needs to try and find something here. There's a player inside of Classroom. I think that's Jack Dad, but it's Nate, actually, who will fall from Z. So that's a good pick for Rhythm. I mean, now they're decently in with a chance, rather. BB with the shotgun finds one top white. Not traded back there by Nico, who's stalled by the smoke canister. Of course, Ghoul, the call out will go that he is below, provided Order. I think he's still down there.
Nico watching?
I don't think so.
No, he's not. So I'm assuming they don't have the information. 40 seconds left. Nico's going to be very careful. Ghoul can just swing out. Rhythm have been able to pull this back from a 5-3. And yeah, that's an easy kill. Nico had no idea. There was no information at all on Ghoul's position. Nevaix, the spray. Bit of damage onto Jack Daddy, who gets the kill onto BB. 20 seconds left into this round, and it's a very close one. Not ideal for Order. Jack Dad to get this diffuser down. Nevaix will find the easiest kill of his life, but yet he didn't get the kill. He knows the player's position, though. Just has to get the kill now onto Jack Dad. He swings back. Bailey stayed alive, and an opportunity goes begging for Rhythm.
An unfortunate end to the round there for Rhythm, and a solid performance there from Order to close things out. They were in the 5v3, and despite maybe throwing a couple of picks more than they would have liked, they did show some composure there, particularly in the post plant. That was a winnable round for Nevaix, but he couldn't quite get the angles required to close that round out. A lot of action in the early round here, but it did stall out. Rhythm able to crawl back a little bit, but yeah, unlucky there for
Probably
Nevaix.
could have actually not shot, pushed up, then got a better angle. But hindsight, of course. And when you, is Jack Dad still eating?
I know.
Was that a big string bean that I just saw?
I think that's why Supremacist left, to give Jack a chance to finish his dinner. Very nice.
Well, Order take the round. They take the first 2 rounds here on Oregon, both on the attack, of course. But Rhythm, that was a better round, considering they were at a 5-3 deficit. And a lot of that came down to Ghoul and his ability to flank. found that kill at top of White Stairs by getting rid of Nico, who seemingly had no idea that Ghoul had already gone over towards Freezer Stairs and pushed out. He found 2 for the round, and that brought it back to a 3 versus 3. But from there, Rhythm weren't able to get the job done.
Okay, I thought Nico fell asleep. He looks very relaxed in this rehearse. Oh.
Oh, I like this Nico cam.
He's thinking about which angle he's going to use next.
You know what I feel like right now? It feels like we're Big Brother or something.
I was thinking the same thing. Oh. Nico's just got a couple thousand people just watching him chill out.
Nico, to the diary room.
Oh. I'm just waiting to see Nate. I want to see that hair. It's very nice. I wish I could grow my hair like that, but unfortunately I'm not gifted with that DNA, so.
He's so powerful at it that it's growing out of his chin as well.
Yeah.
He's got like a mullet beard. But Order as a team, honestly, guys, right now, some more luscious locks as well.
They're all just so good looking, aren't they?
They really are, really. I mean, I don't know if there's a better looking team as a team.
Yeah.
They look good early game as we're just seemingly doing the flybys here. There's Jack Dad. He's having a smile after still consuming his dinner.
I'd love to know what he had. Surely we can get Specker. Where's Specker gone?
And this is Specker. Yeah.
I would have loved if he's just in the background doing some push-ups or something. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me. Oh, wow.
He's kind of got the Dev Mata background going on. Like the shelf with
yeah,
one little plant, some books or something.
Yeah. Looks alright. He'd be hoping to get a trophy on that cabinet
eventually.
He's back.
There's like a step to his right. What is that configuration of his house? Why is there just a random little step in his room?
Well, he's got to be careful he doesn't trip over. That would be...
I would imagine late at night, 3 in the morning, and you just trip on that. Surely. He also looks like he's just come back from robbing someone's house and he's rolled up his balaclava.
Well, he's looking to rob some points off Rhythm tonight, so I guess he's cosplaying that pretty well.
And did he shave the mo? I think he has. I swear on the reload he had the full mo going on. Ah, we're back in the game now.
Boo.
Boo. I was enjoying that. Look, good start for Order, but not a bad round either for Rhythm.
That was probably one of the weirdest rehost feels I think I've ever had in my life.
Weirdest? I thought it was the best.
I did say it was bad. I just said it was very strange. Oh, God. OCN, it's built different. But we are back into the server basement, will be the site here for Rhythm, looking to get their first defensive round win on the board. The first 2 have been pretty dicey and probably what we have come to expect from this matchup heading in. However, if there's any opportunity to get around back, it will be down below. Now, last time Order had that snowball effect, they gained quick control of Pillar, and before you knew it, Blue was taken, they were in sight, they were trading out picks. So it's going to be really critical that Rhythm are able to stall out those checkpoints a little bit more on this occasion, try and wither down the time, and allow that to naturally apply some more pressure to the attack.
5 seconds to go.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to anything you just said there.
That's okay, I did that to you before. So
yeah, that's fair. 1 for 1. Looks like Nate's off the Flores and we'll go hunting. Obviously for Order, looking to do the round tour, or the world tour, go around the world. I feel like I just put all the words in the wrong order. Like,
haha, Order.
Yeah.
Jeez, you're funny.
Jesus, guys. Just sometimes, you've got to sit back and just understand the rhythm of the broadcast.
Oh, jeez. All right. Let's focus. What's happening? Nico is standing with a shield in front of his face, applying some pressure to Kitchen. That's cool. Supremacist is staring down the barrel, looking to maybe see if someone's behind him to find a pick, but currently no one from Order really teaming up with Nico. Instead, Specker up above, looking to apply some pressure. Had he have made that vertical a little bit earlier, Supremacist would have been taken down, but either way, he is forced back. Rhythm slowly losing control of the map.
But they're not losing control of my heart. That's the main thing. They got my support. And honestly, they don't really need control of the map. All they need is an opening pick, and then they're good to go. And Lab is being the aggressor down in Freezer, looking up towards security. Although, he's about to get some company.
Yeah, Nico's loud thud of the shield will alert Leb to his presence, will fall back and play behind the box, or maybe even more so in towards the hallway, which is the safer of the two options. Ghoul also alongside to assist, who's playing the Oryx in this occasion. Now, he could try and charge the shield and break Nico's reinforcement, but of course, you can't just send it in without support. I mean, really not a whole lot happening at the moment. Order still slowly gaining map control, but no picks to speak of, and only a little bit of damage dealt to Nico.
I mean, this eventually they're going to have to go beyond just a bit of freeze to control. But the fact that they've got Bailey, Specker, and of course Nico here, that is a lot of eyes over towards Freezer. Where are these laundry players coming in? When as well? It's 40 seconds. They need to get a bit of a move on here. But a lot of utility has now been expended by Rhythm. Specker takes a very big chunk of damage, but we're getting down to the last 30 seconds, guys.
Time ticking, and this is a much better round from Rhythm. They, like I said, are using the clock to apply pressure towards the attack. It's going to be up to Nico to really put his best foot forward and launch something here for Order. They're all desperately trying to find a deep angle to find a kill, but Rhythm are just not giving it to them.
Yeah, I'm a little bit puzzled right now with Order's attack here. This has been sloppy. Novaex even getting so hesitant that he actually went for the run, and this has just been clean from Rhythm. Order. Honestly, that was quite abysmal. I mean, like, full credit to Rhythm, guys, but what was that from Order?
The best part about that round was Nico inside of Freezer. The reason he was standing so close to the reinforced wall around the 30-second part of that round was to try and stop anyone swinging and shooting the X-Kairos off the wall. And look, that was really well executed, but once that wall was open, that angle was created, Rhythm didn't play into the strategy from Order. They all sat back and played so patiently. They didn't feel the need to pick, and that was the correct decision. Had they have popped their heads up, swung around corners, etc., facing in towards Freezer, Order were just sitting there with their longer range scopes ready and waiting. But they didn't get those picks. They were forced into a really awkward execute, and it was really well done by Rhythm to shut out the round.
Yeah, and look, I don't want to take away anything from Rhythm. They played that really well. And sometimes it's okay to give up that sort of, map control above on that first floor, fall back to site, hold your angles. And obviously for Order, they did some weird stuff inside of Freezer, but Rhythm didn't lose their cool. They played it well. They kept the pressure on. They didn't allow Nico to push any further forward. Deserved round win, and a much needed one as well, and does deny Order from finding 3 in a row. We do head back upstairs now for kids' dorms.
Flores in play here for Order, so expect those Rotary drones to have quite an impact. Now, they have had a limited impact so far, but that may be exemplified in this round. It really just depends where the utility is placed for Rhythm. Now, they aren't bringing any shields. That's a little bit unusual. They are instead trading out 3 nitro cells instead. So a lot of pressure could be applied here, particularly in the plant phase from Rhythm. We'll have to see whether or not they invest down below to utilize those nitros, whether or not they'll try and play them on site, throw them deep. But either way, that is something that necessarily the Flores won't be able to directly counter. Ooh.
Ooh. And Nate, again on the Flores, we haven't really seen the Flores have too much of an impact because Nate's 0-3, and that's not through too much of his own doing. He just keeps getting picked accidentally. Nice little start, though. Specker and Nico, once again, the dynamic duo, will get the first 2 kills of the round. And, well, Rhythm lose Ghoul and Supremacist very early on. Still 2 minutes left, and now at a disadvantage.
Yeah, there's 2 picks basically for free there from Rhythm. And in theory, they're doing the right thing, trying to hold down below. They did play a little bit more aggressive into a small tower, dining, shower hallway, etc. to delay that push as much as possible. But they did test their luck a little bit too much. And now Order, especially with Nico available on the Montagne, can already apply pressure towards the site.
As Rotary drones can go in, and this is what makes him so effective on Oregon. Of course, the mute gem are going to stop that one, but wow. As soon as Novaex even gets a little curious over towards Big Window, just gets his head ripped off, and now it's 5 versus 2. Specker down but not out yet, and Nico's going to be able to protect him as he just sort of wiggles back down White Stairs. And a lot of time still left as well. It's very unlikely that Leb and BB are going to be able to salvage this round.
I want to know what gun skin Nate's running, because that's sick. Either way, though, that's distracted my attention a little bit. And now BB is left in the 1v5. Nico harassing him relentlessly, but it's Bailey from down below to get the pick, and it's flawless for Order.
Yeah, that's what you've come to expect from Order over the last couple of weeks, maybe even over the last month or so. Their form has improved as a team. They've been more consistent, and they're just playing better. Specker has also turned around what was a very slow start to the stage, Guz, and has continued his form here. Absolutely popping off, and a big factor for Order here on the attack for Oregon. This has been very one-sided. The only round that Rhythm have won was that very weird freezer round. You take that out of the equation, and every other round has just been pretty clean from Order.
That's right. Attacker sided Oregon between those two. So,
yeah, it is. That is.
Yep. Rhythm still got this in the bag, no questions about it. I am one of the 3 people in the 7 billion on this planet that still think that Rhythm could win this match. Actually, no, I'm one of the 6. There's me, and then there's 5 players from Rhythm in the server. Actually, plus Yoshi, so we'll make it 7. Maybe I'm being a little bit too dire, casting too much doubt here on Rhythm. Anything can happen on the day, but it's also fair to say that Order are definitely playing like the better roster at the moment. That said, meeting and kitchen. This could throw a little bit of a spanner in the works here for Order. We'll have to see whether or not they have what it takes to attack an objective that doesn't get necessarily as much play.
And of course, like going back to that statistic that I did bring up, it was the 4-2 halves on the attack. So for Order, if they can get to a 5-1, that might be enough to deter that. But I don't know. This is a very different Rhythm lineup to what we saw in Stage 1. That particular Rhythm, guys, that won that game in OT here on Oregon, they went to a lot of OTs, and they won a lot of those OTs. They actually had an okay stage. Points-wise, round differential-wise, this one's been a disaster. It's not the same Rhythm, unfortunately, for Rhythm fans, but you know they're going to put up a fight, and that's all you can really ask from them. But Order are on another level right now.
Yeah, Rhythm have been a little bit out of tune, some may say, in this stage. Offbeat might be another word that comes to mind as Specker finds the opener, and that's meeting control, likely already given here to Order. There was also pressure in towards the hallway, and Nico is planning in kitchen.
Diffuser down nice and early into the round as well. I mean, it's just better and better for Order. Time now, of course, against Rhythm. How things can change. Specker still just playing behind Nico. Bailey, though, oh, that's going to be Nico again being impactful on that Montang. BB got one back, but the damage had been done. The floodgates had opened, and Order go up 4-1.
Nico just walks in and just plants.
Yeah, he caught me off.
What?
So I think, look, Order's faces kind of tell the story as to what happened that round.
Yeah, that's not ideal from Rhythm, not gonna lie. But props to Order. They capitalize upon that window of opportunity. It was a good opening pick and some good aggression there from Specker. And this Montang is really, or has been, causing a lot of issues for Rhythm, struggling to deal with it at the moment. But Nico is going to give them a reprieve in this final round of the half, instead 6-picking onto the Ana.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many.
Well, Rhythm will head back downstairs for the final round of this first half, and they were successful last time out, but gonna be honest, guys, it felt as if it was more on the side of Order, just playing a little bit wacky over towards Freezer. I mean, it was like a 3-man Freezer, not really much else from anywhere, especially when you've got that Monty in that situation. They don't have it this time around, and maybe seemingly looking at their lineup, this might be a bit more of a normalized Order, but They had that Monty. They probably could have taken a bit more pillar control, a bit more blue control, and elected for Freezer, and boy, did it not work out at all. But Order will go back to a bit more stock standard here for the final round of the first half.
Yeah, very much more traditional here on the attack for Order. A lot of utility to work with. They have the 4 nades, plenty of X-Kairos, Bailey with his explosives and stuns on the lifeline as well. And that may indicate a blue push. I mean, the initial spawns and positioning here from Order would confirm that. Botero gets sent through, Ghoul misses it, and that's already one of the shields, I believe, taken down. And talk about being taken down. Nico, without a shield to protect him, will be the first to drop for Order.
Just what Rhythm definitely need. Any advantage that they can get. And Ghoul just maybe feeling a bit of the perceived pressure there. Will lock up Elbow, make it a bit more secure. Nate with another kill. This one onto Supremacist after starting 0 and 3. Now 3 and 3. And sends one of those Rotero drones all the way inside. Wow, he's just gone the whole distance there. Good information gathered as well as Order take Elbow control. They can open this up. They've got the advantage. Bailey has just silently gone 10 and 1, guys.
Yeah, not a bad little performance. Spectre.
Oh. What? Spectre? No! Can't be losing those.
No. Still a lot of work to be done here by Order. They have plenty of time to do it, however, and BB is quite low. Final Rotero sent out by Nate. That's a line of sight now, or an entry point rather, in towards E-Box. And through towards sight. They just need to take their time here, Order. They've got a few drones to work with. They can prepare things. But Ghoul goes for a flank. What a shot there onto Nate. Nearly gets a second into blue, but instead forced to fall back.
Oh. Of course, remembering BB is very, very low. It's rotated all the way over to Laundry now. Still a minute left in this round. It's been a quick one. Oh, what a shot from Ghoul! 3 for the round. Jack Daddy, the solo left. He can't let them back. It's a quad from Ghoul. It's a 4-2 half, though, for Order. Maybe history could still repeat itself.
Well, Order. They didn't do a bad job in the first half, but Ghoul with a huge play in round number 6, able to keep this match alive for Rhythm. 4-2 is the scoreline, and we're going to see Basement played first here from Order.
Yeah, and most importantly, Rhythm is still living, which is our segue to, of course, one of our very much loved sponsors for OCN. Once again, they will be partnering, and for those who aren't aware, Livin is a mental health organization dedicated to breaking the stigma around mental health. Of course, you can support Livin by following them on social media, or you can wear their merch. I think, guys, are you wearing one tonight? You were supposed to.
I'm wearing a Livin shirt.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. High quality, great message. We love Livin, so yeah.
We definitely do. Yeah,
go
use
check
that
them
promo code as well, OCN15 at checkout to receive 15% off. Simply type !Livin in chat to visit their online store. Always love Livin, love their message. Right now, Rhythm are living, as I said before, as they are 4-2, guys. It keeps that storyline from stage 1 alive. They will need to repeat it, though, of course, and have a very good attack.
Now, time for a fun fact, and you mentioned this earlier, or you mentioned his name, Bailey. Bit of a quiet performer, going 10-2 so far, but heading into this Playday... Oh. Specker, please don't interrupt me. Bailey was the equal highest fragger in OCN. 62 kills. The only person equal to him was Worthy from the Chiefs. So Bailey has been posting up some really insane numbers.
Well, you've just completely jinxed him.
Whoops.
He's dead now.
That's okay.
Yeah. Speckett also putting up some big numbers. He got the opening kill in the second half. Of course, though, with Bailey's death, Rhythm have been able to tie it back up for 4. And one thing that this match has really had is a lot of action early on in these rounds in particular. Both of these two teams have been going back and forth. And we've seen even, diffusers go down very early on into the rounds as well. We've seen lots of kills happening early. By no means is this 5-5 with, 20 seconds to go. None of that business. It's pedal to the metal.
4 versus 4. Supremacist has a bit of a peek down Freezer stairs, but unsatisfied that push will be fruitful, instead falls back, waiting on Ghoul now to come across, open up the security hatch, and then transition controlling towards meeting and get that hatch open as well. Cheeky pre-fire there from the Zephyr almost collects Jack Daddy, trying to perceive some pressure on these stairs, but will back down towards Pillar. Now BB, who is playing the Amaru this round, just on basement, not going to have much of a direct impact outside of getting quick map control, is now at the bottom of Freezer. That wall, in fact, fully reinforced off here by Order, trying to filter their opponents through the doorway.
Minute left in the round. Honestly, actually one of the slower rounds. I've jinxed it as well because I mentioned how hectic things have been early on in these rounds, but maybe expect Rhythm to be a little slower tempo than Order was on their attacks. Back up that Goyo Vulcan shield in front of him. Able to just hold in laundry. Still 30 seconds. I mean, BB, you can't fall back and take angles for much longer. You've got to start moving forward. Order are able to just hold these angles. Gas Baby in again. Still one more in the hand of Nate to throw in here. And deny BB, who can't go in there at all. Able to shoot that Nitrocell that does get thrown at his feet. But all the kills go in the way of Order. Literally all of them, Guz.
That wasn't a Nitrocell, that was a,
that
was a Smoke Babe. That's why Rob is a better play-by-play than you.
These things happen, Typically,
look, like you said earlier.
Typically, people throw Nitrocells at people, okay? And in the heat of the moment, you see something get thrown at someone, and he shoots it. I don't think you can blame me.
No, that's okay. Like you said earlier, Rob's on his P plates now. You're still stuck on your L's, but eventually, once you cast 120 hours, you'll be able to go onto your P's as well. So, me, I'm on my full license.
I think I've done way more than 120 hours. Like, I do get your reference there, but it just doesn't make sense. It's okay.
You also casted SI and Rob hasn't, so I mean, maybe he's on the L's and you're on the P's.
I think you're just on an awful, awful tangent that you need to get off here. Let's move on. Rhythm with a much needed round coming up because it is starting to fall away from them, Guz. 5-2 now. Goes away from that trend that we had last time out between these two teams on Oregon, which was, 4-2, 4-2. They need to start getting in the winners column. Otherwise, this could end up being yet another 7-2 or 7-1 sort of loss. One of those big blowouts that they've had too many times this stage.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. You highlighted it earlier. The round differential for Rhythm has been quite devastating, and whilst in stage 1 they were able to put up some pretty good fights across the board, this stage has been a whole different story. They're still going through this transitional period, BB coming on board, finding some issues, I guess, trying to connect with the rest of the roster and trying to get things going as a squad. Now, it's always going to be tricky when you're making constant roster changes to be one of the top performing teams, but Rhythm, that's just been their storyline for the last couple of years, continually going through turmoil and unfortunately unable to get to the point where, they're a really solid staple of the region. We love Rhythm, but unfortunately they haven't been able to put in those consistent results that they need to be one of the top performing teams. That said though, they have an opportunity here in round number 8 to try and bounce things back. It is a Dorm's attack. They've brought plenty of utility. They've also brought the Twitch as well to spice things up and clear those mute jammers, for example, which would have been placed around by Nico, and they will swiftly get control or at least open up the breach in towards Attic.
Yeah, and again, probably expecting Rhythm to be a little bit slower going than Order were on the attack. Order were full steam ahead. They were forcing the issues super early on in the rounds. And it's probably Order even on the defense that will be the ones to be proactive and to find these picks and peaks and get on the flank and be the ones making things happen. And it's probably what sets them apart from Rhythm. Supremacist 1 and 5 Player inside of security, though. An opportunity. Does it go begging? Talk about timing.
Oh.
And Specker's out of there.
Oh.
Oh, that's just horrendous.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good, though.
That was pretty good. Evens things up, but this round has gone past quite quickly. Just over a minute to go, and Nate inside of Kids has a good position. That shield protecting him from the pit drop, as well as fortifying his position against the double window jump in. Now elsewhere, Rhythm are applying pressure in towards Games. That's the wall opened by Ghoul, who still has one summer left if he elects to use it. Bailey, though, poses a threat down below.
Still plays, of course, around that main entrance, so he can swing out from Classroom and maybe find a kill. It's actually Ghoul above who walks above him. Or the Nitro Assault. Well, that's definitely not a gas babe. 3 versus 3, 23 seconds left here, and it's getting very chaotic now.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
3 versus 3. Advantage probably to no one, maybe to Order, honestly, because time is of the essence and Rhythm's running out of it. The spray from Nate at the back of Kids in towards Pit. Doesn't find what he's looking for. BB pushes in, gets that diffuser down. Leb is going to be down for the count. BB got off of it. Now he cannot get off of it at all. Watching his shoulder, Nevaix on that twitch. Nate will be able to get this kill, but he still needs to get Nevaix, though, at the top of White Stairs. Sees his elbow sticking out, knows where he is. Maybe he was expecting. Do they have the info on Leb or not? Through the wall, he gets the kill. He doesn't have that info, but now he will confirm it. Well, maybe not. Now he does.
Stats. Wow, that was interesting from Nate. Order will claim match point. That was a nice, cheeky little clutch. I was screaming without actually being vocal for him to shoot through the wall, and eventually it clicked. He got the kill at the end there. A really nice clutch up for him and the team. And yeah, the prospect of Rhythm winning this matchup continues to slip away.
Gee, you think it's 6-2? I don't know. I think it maybe has slipped away from them. Specker with that opening pick. Great Nitro Assault from Bailey as well, and kind of set up the round. But yeah, the 1v2 clutch from Nate. Of course, it says 1v3 at the top, but Lab was down. He was never really involved in this at all. And yeah, this is the moment where just decides, hey, I can just shoot through that. Match point. Order on the defense. It's meeting Kitchen. And this could be the demise of Rhythm, as it has been throughout stage 2 so many times before, guys, around this point where they end up losing 7-2, and it will be yet another blowout.
Ah, damn, dude. Feels bad for Rhythm. It's been one of those stages and one of those seasons for them as a whole. Order, on the other hand, though, they'll be quite elated with this result so far, particularly if they're able to convert from here. And Specker was a man of his word, making this match a little bit of a clinic and putting on a good show for us all. Haven't had to do anything too fancy in this matchup to get it close to the line, and now they just need one final step to get it over said line. They are defending Meeting and Kitchen, an extension up above here, the Mute assisting with denying some of those entry points. Interestingly enough, they're only going to single reinforce rear stage, I think that was. Unless they're doing it on the other side. I can't tell. I'm going to assume that's unreinforced, so that's a little bit spicy. Might allow Order to get a bit more aggressive here if Rhythm take control of Big Tower.
And it's hard to be too positive for Rhythm as well. You know, there's only so much sugarcoating you can do. For a team that's dead last, no wins, 1 Playday to go. The worst round differential, I think, since the OCN product was introduced. It's not good company to be in. And they're going to have to find at some point in stage 3 a way to rectify things. A lot of growing needs to be done for this team. On the flip side, though, Order as a team finding themselves in a better position where they no longer maybe drop these sort of games. In the past, they would have, guys. They would have been upset by, you know, the odd Rhythm or the odd LFO. But I feel like they are just starting to gain that consistency tag.
Slowly but surely. And on that note, Rhythm are trying to slowly and surely take map control over towards the western side. They haven't quite committed to rear stage just yet, but I can see some outlines to the north of the map rotating over to that side, and that would suggest that they are going to at least get a line of sight in towards meeting, make the likes of Nico feel a little bit uneasy. But with this ball soft, as I mentioned, Order can get quite aggressive. There's a lot of utility, including ADS devices and Banshees from Spectre, that are slowing down this progression a little bit. That said, Novax just looks straight past them, popping one of those Banshees and ADS, as well as that barbed wire to try and get control of the hallway. Ghoul says nice shot as Nico takes him down, and now Order have the man advantage to try and close out the round and close out the map.
Yeah, there's not too long to go either. 55 seconds left, and as you said, they've got that man advantage. Novax just takes a little bit of damage as well. Not ideal. And Nate just sitting is almost like backup inside of Addict as well, in the event that somehow Rhythm do make it in towards meeting. It's unlikely. And I think, honestly, for Rhythm, it's maybe better to just be put out of their misery. Nico's going to go for the swing. It's actually Jack Dad, though, who got the kill onto Novax. Nico did get the kill onto BB as well. And it's a 3 versus 1 now. Leb in the solo position, under 20 seconds left. It is going to be a 7-2 victory for Order, guys. Emphatic in the end, clean as you like, and history will not repeat itself.
Oh, Leb wants something to say about it, and it does find one there onto Nico, but the time is ticking down. It's a quad for Leb, but it's not going to be enough. The time will deplete. Jack Dad is outside, and Order will close out Oregon 7-2.
A 3-0 half for Order to close out this game, 7-2. They now rocket up into 3rd position in the standings for OCN with 1 Playday to go, setting up a tantalizing match between Knights in Playday 7. It will be 3rd versus 4th, guys, in the final Playday. Then you've got Wildcard versus Roffle. Then you've got Bliss versus Chiefs. Can you believe the Playday we've got to close the season? And Order winning this sets it up even better for us. It just adds to the excitement of it. An expected victory, though, for everyone not named Guz.
Yeah. Yeah, probably shouldn't have picked Rhythm in hindsight, but hey, keeps things spicy. So not the end of the world. And look, in reality, that was the result we expected. It was also executed in the fashion we would expect. Dominant there for Order. They played their game. I mean, on the attack, they were literally just bullying Rhythm with the Montang and their aggressive plays. On the defense, they just locked them out. So really well played. For Order, Rhythm need to lick their wounds now and try to salvage something. If LFO don't win tonight against the Chiefs, they still have that opportunity to bounce out potentially out of last place. In fact, they'll be taking on LFO, I believe, in that final Playday. Yeah, so sets us up for a nice little clash at the bottom of the standings, but yeah, still disappointing for them to go out in this fashion against Order.
Yeah, it's disappointing because it's just this continued trend that's now 3 games in a row for Rhythm where 7-2, 7-1, 7-2, and it just keeps getting a bit blown out, and you just have to wonder what's going to be the go for Stage 3, right? Do you sort of rebuild with this roster? Are there going to be roster changes? Because this has been worse than Stage 1. Now, of course, improvement's not linear. It's not always as simple as, you know, you go from last into first and you just follow this straight line upwards, but it's honestly not been pretty to watch, right? Because you look at the rest of the competition, especially the top 6, LFO's honestly not too far behind Rhythm, but we'll get to them later because they're the next team coming up. But Rhythm's the outlier, right? Like, they've only got 1 point. Only 1 point for this entire stage, guys. It's really...
Yeah, look, I feel like we've said it a couple times now, but it is incredibly disheartening and disappointing for Rhythm. Look, they just need to try and rebuild from this position. They still do have the final Playday to try and gain some momentum against LFO and then put in some really hard work over the off-stage time across the major and then come back in Stage 3 to try and build some momentum. But yeah, really tough going for them, and you can just see in the numbers, no one really showing up there. In fact, Leb probably not posting great numbers either. In fact, he got, what, 4 kills in the final round and was still only getting 6 in total. So look, not to single him out, Leb's a great guy, don't get me wrong, but Yeah, just really hard to watch Rhythm continue to go through these really dry spells where they're finding life really tough.
Really, really well played, though, from Order, right? We give them the plaudits, we give them the congratulations. Nico on the Monty was absolutely amazing to watch. And, of course, Bailey and Specker, I mean, they just went off. 22 kills between them in that quick 7-2. So, you know, they were head and shoulders. The absolute fraggers in this match, really, for both teams, Guz. And it says a lot for Order and what they can sort of achieve moving forward. You know, they've got that firepower, don't they?
Yeah, that's the common theme and storyline we've been running with in the past and at the start of the stage and in the back end, particularly of stage 1. We were continually repeating the phrase, you know, they've got really good players, but the dots aren't quite connecting. They're not quite playing the best that we know they can. But this, again, is a good example of when they're maybe playing an opponent that they're really comfortable against and they just allow their players to sort of play their natural game. They can show up, they can get picks. Specker was finding fantastic openings, the rest of the team really showing up, and it was a very scary Order to watch.
Let's go and have a chat with our wonderful friend Specker, of course, having a chat with us here as always. Firstly, did you trim the mow, or was it always this?
No, I've been like, it was a bit thick at one point, I'll admit, generally.
Right,
So you've picked something up there, Xenox. You're not wrong. I went to an Italian hairdresser, and he was fantastic. I told him I had a date night, and he just treated me. Absolutely treated me. Trimmed up the moustache, gave me a beautiful haircut, and he gave me this little, slightly thinner. And I see what he's working with, and I've been enjoying it, so I've decided to carry it on, Xenox. So, absolutely.
It suits you, mate. It suits you. Big
you.
win, of course. You popped off. Bailey popped off. The whole team popped off as well.
Yeah.
But it just feels like job done more than anything. I mean, to not disrespect Rhythm, this stage, and it's just about getting the job done today.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much it. You know, we're here to do business, and we pretty much did that, I suppose. You know, it was just a quick game for us. Had to get it done. No show match today, unfortunately, gentlemen. But yeah, it is what it is. It would be an absolute upset for us to lose that game to Rhythm, especially with our recent performances in other leagues as well as this league. So yeah, we decided to pretty much, I guess, not bully, but we were definitely in a stronger position most of the game. We were definitely playing our strengths and pushing as a unit. We had a few rounds here and there of sloppiness, which we should have won. Again, I think we lost an advantage, which, you know, it's standard for us at this point. But we tightened it up, and, you know, we're getting better and better as always, I suppose. So yeah, once it gets to that, it could have really been a flawless kind of game, I suppose. So, yeah.
Yeah, Specker, good to see you once again. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Bailey, actually. Now, I was having a look at his stats heading into this matchup, and again, he showed up. He's been posting some pretty serious numbers. Like, he is right up there as the top fragger
He's good
in the league. Give us your thoughts on him, because it doesn't feel like he's a name that we're, you know, saying very often. He seems to be a bit of a quiet achiever. Is that the right way to maybe phrase it? Or?
I would say he's relatively humble in that aspect, yeah, and he's also not really one of those flashy players that kind of, you know, pop off and get these. In saying that, nobody does. I don't know why he doesn't get that attention, you know? But he's not really known as I guess maybe it's his previous roles or whatever, but in regards to how he's at right now, I'm starting to play with Bailey a fair bit more on that attacking little duo dynamic that we have. So I guess he's got now a partner to kind of do things with, and it's vice versa, him and I. So when we're both, you know, able to get this ground and this control, we're very comfortable with each other. We delegate angles with each other. It doesn't even need to be kind of vocalized. It's just like a kind of logical thing. So Bailey's just gone under some tremendous growth, I would say. And it's awesome for him to kind of go through that. And it's definitely a key instrument to why this team's developing. But, I mean, credits to all the players are all developing at a nice, comfortable rate. So it's awesome to see, and it's awesome to play with, and hopefully it's awesome to watch.
Now, mate, you guys are in a very interesting predicament to not only close out OCN, but also closing out APAC South. You're playing the same team in both competitions. You've got the Knights. Now, of course, two different competitions. You've got two different circumstances. What's the thought process? Have you guys even thought about it at all yet? Or at least, I guess, maybe run us through what could end up being the thought process going into the week? Because do you treat it like a best of three, maybe? Does it change slightly?
No, not really. I mean, we want to win both games, ideally. Losing, of course, the South would be worse than losing the OCN, but we want to win both, you know. Nothing really too special in regards to the treatment. My plan's kind of just to go and click on their heads before they click on mine. And, you know, I reckon it'll be a fun game. But, yeah, Knights are kind of a structured team. They don't really come out with much hyper-aggressive stuff, so we're kind of ready for it. You know, we've readjusted back to this this Australian play style with these teams, and we've kind of incorporated our own little fire into it to the point where I'd say that we're actually a relatively unique team to verse, which is potentially why people find us difficult now, I would say. we're starting to kind of find our own stride and our own little, you know, meta, so to speak. So it's not like you just, you know, when you verse us, you verse that same hold, you know, 500 times, you know what you're doing. There's going to be something different. There's going to be a different play style. There's going to be different utility plays and reinforcements. You know, it's just this kind of personalized style that we're starting to bring. So for Knights, it'll potentially be more so of that, and it'll be a fun game. But yeah, it's odd that we're playing them twice in a row. I would have liked to have verse them spaced out throughout the season, so you have like maybe one at the start and one at the end, so you can kind of see how the teams have grown. And it's a nice little contrast. But no, it should be awesome. Should be awesome.
Yeah. Specker, thanks for joining us for the interview. Unless you had final questions, Enox, or
Are you kicking him out as well, just like you?
Yeah, I'm just going to end the interview.
I can't
Thanks
believe
for
it.
joining
Like
us,
that.
mate.
That's
And
cold.
hopefully we see you next week.
I think Guz is terrified that Vinny and I are taking his job. Honestly, I reckon it might be happening.
Yeah, it's true. I'm scared, man. I just
Cut
want
him
to
off,
get you out of
cut him
here.
off, boys.
Get him out, get him out. All right, listen, mate, we'll leave you there because Guz is obviously sick of you. I'm not. I could have had a yum, but we do have to get moving
Awesome.
with the broadcast.
No stress.
2 big games coming up next week. Best of luck, and
Yes, sir.
hopefully we have a chat again.
All right, awesome. We'll chat to you then. Looking forward to it. Thanks for all the support and for production as well as order. Much love to you all. Stay well. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you gentlemen next week.
Cheers, Specker. Awesome to always have a chat with Specker. Order are flying, guys, of course, in both APAC South and in OCN. You can maybe start to take off that inconsistency tag a little bit and maybe look to start printing out or start writing out the consistency tag. If they can really knock off the Knights, I'll happily put it on them. But big task ahead of them next week.
Yeah, maybe. Again, it's important to...
Oh, yeah,
look-
maybe.
Well, it's important to look at this play day in context, right? We looked at basically all of these matchups, and for the most part, they're pretty penciled in. Now, I guess the first matchup maybe didn't quite go the way we expected for the Knights, but this matchup was always going to be an order win. I know I picked Rhythm, but that was a bit of a meme. This was honestly 99.99% an order win. So to say that they've turned their entire stage around and they're now Mr. Consistent is obviously a bit of a stretch. That said, they are improving. I think that inconsistency tag is starting to wear off a little bit, but next week's the real test. That's the test for a lot of these teams, and that's going to be the most critical matchup. This was just another day in the office for Order, and I think Specker's attitude reflected that.
Yeah, I think Order is starting to turn things around. I'll give them their due praises there. Guz probably won't. We're going to go to a break. When we do come back, though, don't go anywhere. More big games to come.